Life wakes in colors before it learns names. A soft spill of light on the walls of breath. A morning that does not ask permission, only arrives, barefoot, in the heart. White is the first silence we inherit, milk of beginnings, unwritten air. The blank page where footsteps hesitate, afraid and hopeful at the same time. Yellow hums like a promise in the chest, sunlight stitched into closed eyes, the laughter of days not yet broken, the courage of waking up again. Blue drips slowly from the sky of thought, a patient river inside the mind, carrying questions, carrying prayers, teaching us how to endure depth. Green grows without asking our wounds. It rises from cracks in abandoned dreams, a stubborn softness pushing through stone, whispering, still, still, still alive. Red arrives like truth without apology, pulse of the heart, scream of blood, love that burns and pain that teaches, the cost of feeling everything fully. Black waits in the corners of memory, not evil, only heavy with echoes. The night where tears learn their shape, where stars rehearse their bravery. Gray settles between yes and no, the color of waiting rooms and sighs, where hope and fear share one chair, and time forgets how to speak. Orange tastes like hunger and fire, the urge to move, to change, to risk, the heat of becoming someone new, even when hands are shaking. Purple drapes itself in mystery, royalty of unanswered questions, the bruise of wisdom on the soul, earned by surviving what we feared. Pink is the tenderness we hide, softness disguised as weakness, the courage of caring in a cruel world, the quiet rebellion of gentleness. Brown remembers the language of earth, dust on feet, roots in the dark, the honesty of falling and rising, the home we return to when lost. Life is not one color staying loyal. It is a storm of changing shades, a canvas splashed by moments, some careful, some wild with grief. Morning paints hope with careless hands, even on days stitched with sorrow. It insists on brightness somewhere, a thin line of light on the horizon. Afternoon dulls the shine with labor, sweat-colored hours and tired eyes, where dreams bend under responsibility, but do not entirely break. Evening blends regret with relief, gold dissolving into violet skies. We count what survived the day, and forgive what could not. Night pours ink over every mistake, not to erase, but to soften edges, to teach wounds the art of resting, to let tomorrow breathe. Childhood is a box of loud crayons, lines outside borders, fearless skies, a time when colors trusted us, before fear learned our address. Youth is neon and reckless speed, bright choices made without maps, colors clashing in beautiful chaos, believing forever is guaranteed. Adulthood learns the cost of shades, how some brightness fades with bills, how responsibilities dim the palette, yet deepen meaning in quieter tones. Old age becomes watercolor patience, soft edges, memories bleeding gently, colors less loud but more honest, a wisdom that whispers instead of shouts. Love changes color with every breath, sometimes red, sometimes blue, sometimes golden, sometimes ash, but always alive in some hue. Pain stains deeply, harder to wash, dark purples, heavy grays, yet even pain teaches contrast, so joy knows how to shine. Hope is a stubborn color. It survives fires and floods, fades, returns, fades again, refusing to disappear completely. Faith glows without needing proof, a candle color in storming rooms, small, trembling, yet undefeated, lighting paths no I can see. Loss drains the world briefly, turns days into monochrome echoes, but memory smuggles color back, one smile at a time. Dreams repaint ruined walls at night. They sneak color past locked doors, reminding us we are not finished, even when exhausted. Time itself has a shifting palette, fast years bright and reckless, slow years muted and thoughtful, each necessary to the whole. Cities glow with artificial rainbows, lights trying to replace stars, while villages keep earth-toned truths and silence colored by prayer. Nature never argues with color. It wears decay and bloom together, teaching us acceptance through seasons, without explanation. Art is life begging to be seen, colors screaming what words cannot. the confession of souls on canvas, the echo of human longing. Music has invisible colors, notes staining the air with feeling. A blue song can heal red wounds. A bright rhythm can revive gray hearts. Every person carries a spectrum, hidden behind eyes and smiles. No one is just one shade. We are all unfinished rainbows. Kindness is the rarest color. It does not shout or shine, yet it changes the whole picture, quietly, completely. Cruelty is loud and sharp, a color that bruises the soul, but it fades faster than compassion, leaving emptiness behind. Forgiveness lightens heavy tones, adds white to darkest memories, not erasing, only softening, making space to breathe again. Failure is not colorless. It carries lessons in muted hues, teaching depth to future triumphs, giving success its meaning. Success shines briefly like gold, but must learn humility's shade, or it blinds the eyes it feeds, forgetting where it came from. Loneliness is a cold blue room, echoing with unheard thoughts, yet sometimes it teaches us ourselves, painting clarity in silence. Friendship is a shared palette, colors exchanged without fear, a promise that even dark days will not be faced alone. Family holds ancestral tones, passed through blood and stories, colors we did not choose, yet shape our vision. Death is not the end of color, only a change beyond sight, a crossing into unknown light, where shades learn new names. Life, in all its trembling beauty, is a masterpiece still drying, colors running, blending, resisting, never perfectly controlled. We walk through days as living brushes, leaving strokes on each other's souls, sometimes gentle, sometimes careless, always irreversible. At the end, no life is monochrome. Even the saddest story holds light, even the brightest holds shadow, and that balance is truth. The color of life is not one shade. It is the courage to feel them all, to stand inside the storm of hues, and still call it beautiful. The road ahead keeps changing its tint, sometimes dust-colored with fatigue, sometimes silver with sudden rain, teaching feet patience and trust. Every sunrise repaints yesterday's scars, not hiding them, only reframing, showing how even broken edges can catch light differently. We learn slowly that happiness is layered, not a loud permanent yellow, but small sparks of warmth, hidden between ordinary hours. Sorrow deepens the canvas quietly, adding weight to careless joy, so laughter learns humility, and smiles gain honesty. The heart is an artist without rest, mixing fear with hope repeatedly, testing shades of courage until it dares to choose again. Some days arrive colorless and tired, washed out by disappointment, yet even those days matter, they make contrast possible. Rain teaches streets how to shine, dark asphalt glowing with reflection, reminding us that beauty often appears after surrender. Dreams wear brighter clothes at night. They borrow stars for decoration, repairing the damage of daylight, with gentle lies and secret truths. Memories refuse to stay in one color. They shift as we age. Pain softens, joy deepens, nothing remains exactly the same. Regret stains like stubborn ink, but wisdom adds water slowly, turning harsh lines into lessons and guilt into growth. Courage is rarely bright at first. Often it is pale and trembling, but repeated steps deepen its tone until fear learns respect. Silence has a color too, soft gray with breathing spaces, where thoughts finally settle and the soul hears itself. Noise is a chaotic rainbow, clashing voices and expectations, sometimes exciting, sometimes suffocating, teaching us the value of quiet. Time brushes wrinkles gently, each line a faded story, not erasing youth's brightness, only rearranging its glow. Hope hides in unlikely shades, in cracked cups and tired prayers, in half-smiles and unfinished plans, refusing to leave. Despair pretends to be permanent, deep black without windows, but even black absorbs light, waiting for the right angle. Trust is a fragile color, easily scratched, hard to restore, yet when healed, it shines deeper, stronger than before. Jealousy distorts every shade, turns gold into bitterness, teaching us that comparison steals joy silently. Gratitude brightens dull mornings, adds warmth to simple meals, turns enough into abundance, and breathing into blessing. The sky changes mood hourly: blue confidence, gray doubt, fiery anger, gentle calm, mirroring our inner weather. Every goodbye drains some color, yet makes space for new tones. Loss is a cruel editor, but not a thief of meaning. Beginnings are always blinding, too bright to understand fully. We squint at possibility, afraid and thrilled together. Endings soften with distance, sharp reds fading to rose, allowing us to remember without bleeding again. Humanity is a crowded mural, millions of colors overlapping, conflict and harmony sharing walls. Unfinished, imperfect, alive. Kind words repaint damaged souls, one gentle stroke at a time, proof that color can heal without noise. Harsh words spill acid tones, burning holes in confidence, yet resilience learns restoration, slowly, patiently. Even faith struggles with shadows, belief flickers in storms, but doubt sharpens devotion, giving light its purpose. The color of truth is complex, never pure white or black, but layered with context, asking us to look deeper. We carry childhood colors secretly, hidden beneath adult clothing, waiting for safe moments to come out and play. Freedom tastes like open blue, wide skies without permission, yet responsibility anchors us, teaching balance. Dreamers paint futures wildly, sometimes missing reality's frame, but without them, the world would remain unfinished. Realists ground the palette, adding earth to flying hues, reminding visions where to stand, so they can grow. Life does not promise harmony, colors clash without apology, yet meaning emerges in chaos for those who keep looking. Scars become unexpected highlights, catching light differently, proof that survival reshapes beauty, not destroys it. Every breath adds a new stroke, even unnoticed, even small. Nothing lived is wasted on the canvas of being. At times we wish for erasers to undo careless choices, but permanence teaches respect and attention. Joy matures into softer gold, less loud, more lasting, a warmth that stays instead of flashing and leaving. The color of life keeps changing with every tear and triumph, and in accepting all its shades, we finally learn to live. Morning sometimes arrives exhausted, carrying yesterday on its shoulders, yet it still opens the sky gently, as if forgiving us in advance. We wake with unfinished thoughts, half-colored plans and quiet fears, learning that living is not completion, but constant becoming. Some smiles are painted for survival, thin layers hiding cracked walls. Yet even painted smiles require effort, and effort itself is hope. Tears dilute the strongest pigments, softening anger into understanding, washing dust from the soul so it can breathe again. Ambition burns bright like polished chrome, reflecting dreams and expectations, but unchecked, it blinds the hands that once loved simplicity. Contentment wears muted tones, often mistaken for dullness, yet inside it rests a peace, louder than celebration. Fear colors imagination cruelly, turning shadows into monsters, but courage redraws those shapes with steadier lines. Every mistake adds texture, rough strokes beneath smooth surfaces. Without them, the painting feels empty, too perfect to be real. Waiting rooms of life are beige and slow, filled with ticking clocks and prayers, where patience learns depth and impatience learns humility. We chase bright futures tirelessly, sometimes stepping over present beauty, forgetting that now also has color if we stop rushing. Love matures through seasons, from fire red to ember glow, still warm, less destructive, more enduring. Hatred sharpens into harsh lines, stealing softness from vision, until forgiveness blurs its edges and returns depth. Hope often arrives unannounced in ordinary conversations, in shared tea, in quiet understanding, in someone staying. Loneliness paints walls inward, closing windows of connection. Yet one honest voice can repaint an entire room. The past is never a single shade. It shifts with perspective. What once was dark may soften. What once was bright may ache. Dreams that fail do not vanish. They change color and shape, becoming lessons, becoming warnings, becoming quieter wishes. Strength does not always look bold. Sometimes it trembles silently, standing anyway, choosing anyway, breathing through storms. Weakness teaches compassion, shows us shared fragility, reminding hearts to be gentle with themselves and others. Time fades unnecessary colors, leaving essentials behind, not stealing beauty, but refining it. Joy borrowed is still joy, even if it does not last. A single bright moment can light many dark ones. The mind paints worst-case futures, dark galleries of imagined loss, but reality often arrives softer, less cruel than fear predicted. Faith is choosing light repeatedly, even when proof refuses to show, a discipline of trusting color beyond sight. We learn that healing is uneven. Some wounds close, others linger. Yet even scars hold stories worth honoring. The world teaches through contrast, war beside kindness, greed beside generosity, forcing us to choose our shade. Choice is the brush in our hands, small movements, daily strokes, creating direction quietly, without dramatic announcements. Purpose rarely arrives fully colored. It starts as faint outlines, asking patience and commitment to gain depth. Grief deepens vision painfully, teaches us what mattered, what still matters, what always will. Memories glow strongest at night, when distractions sleep, colors returning with intensity, demanding acknowledgement. Forgiving ourselves restores balance, adds light where shame lived, allowing the canvas to continue instead of ending early. No life escapes darkness completely. Shadows prove dimension. Without them, brightness feels flat, meaningless. The color of life keeps unfolding, layer by layer, year by year, not rushing completion, trusting the process. We are not meant to finish the painting, only to keep adding truth until the last breath lays down, the final gentle stroke.